Welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to do GameMaker, and today I got Devin with me. He's going to
I'm Devin.
and he's going to be my helper today to show you how to use GameMaker. So before you do game, and also as always, it's free.
Yeah.
And should we double check? It is free. Because GameMaker, they do want to make money, so. We'll be back, so I'll show you the website where you need to go to. There we go. So, you go to yoyogames.com/GameMaker. And this is what you'll get. You go to this website, you go up here, you have to register. That's the only downside a little bit, but it's not bad. Since we're already logged in, so we're going to bypass all of that. Like I said, that's a lot, and it takes a long time. So you go over here to GameMaker, and you can go to Products. You can see what we own already. But this is where we show ability to buy. And this is where you can make games to the PS4, the phone, Windows, Apple, Android, all of it. Or you can go down here and get the ultimate package and code on all platforms. And since some of us do not have this type of money, and you just really you don't know, I don't know, I want to make games, but I really don't want to make games. So this is a good little entry. Well, I say entry, it's more intermediate. But you can go to GameMaker Studio 1.4. We don't know how long this is going to stay active because they moved over to Studio 2. Studio 2 was in beta, but now it's out of beta. But it is free if you get the regular one. So if we go to downloads, Studio 2 is for Mac and Windows. I don't believe it's for Linux.
Yeah, I don't think so either. You can make games for Linux, but
yeah,
make games on Linux.
For those of you that like Linux, I'm sorry, this is something you can't use.
Yeah.
But if you got 1.4, it's on Windows only, no Mac. So you go that route. So sorry, Mac, gotta stick with Studio 2.
And like Studio 2 and 1.4, like they're a lot, like visually they're really different, but mechanically they're pretty much the same. So it really doesn't matter which one you use. It's just basically do the same stuff.
Yeah. So once you get this one you want, let's say you want this one, hit download. Of course, save, then install, or go to the other one. So we're using Windows. Do not try and download the Mac one. Get the Windows one if you're using Windows. Again, same process. So we're not going to install it because we've already done it.
Mm-hmm. We
are now going to go to the actual game. So if you launch it, oh, by the way, that's what it looked like. Since we got 1.4. Once we launch it, we will get this. We get the welcome. And so we already kind of have my first game. You get your open, your new, your import, release notes, the demos. And I encourage you, use the demos. Why? It shows you how to do everything to begin. We should have more. I don't know why we got one, but there should be like 7 to 8 for demos for the beginner. It's about the same for intermediate, but a little bit more, and single for advanced, and so on. And they will tell you how to start out and everything else. Or, I'm sorry. I'm talking about the tutorials.
Oh, well.
Yeah, just do the tutorials. The tutorials are your friend.
Mm.
They literally give you a good sense of the mechanics inside, of how it works and everything operates. From drag and drop to coding. Yes, I said coding. If you're good at coding, you can make a really good game because you code it to how you want it to be. Drag and drop is really easy too. It's meant for those who don't know how to code.
Just people who are looking to get a grasp on how coding works, like the bare bones of how games are created.
So the drag and drop is nice, but at the same time, there are little glitches that you can't fix in drag and drop, but in coding, you can. So what we're going to do, so we're not going to do introduction how to make a maze game, but if you do my first game, you should do my first game. It's going to kind of show you.
Oh.
Why? You opened earlier.
There we go.
So that. And over here are the tutorials. Downside, you cannot make this bigger.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get.
When you close it, you can't reopen it. So.
Yeah, so you don't want. Once you close, like you said, you close it, it's gone. So save, save, save. Always save. So go next. Just read what it says, do what it says, and it'll tell you everything to the sprites, the sound, the background, how to use all of this and make it your own.
Yeah.
And this is just their form of ads. You can get rid of it.
Just close it out, yeah.
It's annoying. I know. I don't know why they do it, but they do.
Studio 2 doesn't have that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's weird. So like I said, once I close this out, tutorial is gone. Can't bring it back.
All right,
I don't know why, but it's dumb. So what we're going to do, we're going to make our own game. We're going to show you. Like I said, it's going to be a maze game. And Devin's going to show you how to do it on a coding side and see how easy, and if you know how to code, it's easy. If you don't, it's like, oh my goodness, what he just did. He did witchcraft. He's a wizard. He'll show you how to make a simple maze game right from coding. He's going to show you the drag and drop, and you can see like why it's a little clunky to do the drag and drop. It's like I said, it works. Drag and drop works, but sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, it's like you can do it. You can do a lot of things with drag and drop, but like if you want to get into complex game building, drag and drop is not the way to go. No. But I mean, it's there.
Yeah, it's convenient.
Yeah, some of the things you can do, like just simple little things that I still even use drag and drop for while I'm coding. Like you could mix and match them too, like code and drag and drop at the same time. Okay, so like, anyway, back to the maze. This Pac-Man icon here, it's where you create a sprite. And a sprite's technically just like the image of your character or a wall or whatever you're trying to code. So if we create a sprite, and then then again, it's just the image. It's not the actual object that moves. It's just the image that goes onto it. So SPR, and you can name it whatever you want. Just do player. Let's not load one. You can edit sprite, create a frame. A little window popped up on the other screen. Okay, 32 by 32, that's a good size. You can just draw whatever you want. I'm just going to do a simple green square. I like to put an outline on it. There we go. There's our player. Now we're going to need a wall because the maze it's going to need walls. So SPR wall. You can name it whatever you want. It doesn't have to be SPR wall.
And the reason why he's naming it that way he knows what it is.
Yeah, SPR. Like that tells me that it's a sprite and not just an object or another thing that we will have to create further on.
So you want to get a habit of doing that. Is you just do, sprite 1, sprite 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 15.
Yeah, you're not gonna know what it is.
Yeah, so you'll be like, okay, time to make my wall or build this castle or what have you. And like, which sprite number that was again?
Yeah. Yeah, naming is really important. It's not as important with small games like this, but it's good to get in the habit of doing it because once you move on to bigger games, it's going to be really confusing. So anyway, now we have our two images, the player and the wall. We're going to need to make an object for both of those images. So to make an object, and an object is basically where all like the movement and the mechanics come in. So like it's where you code and do your drag and drop, and it's where most of the work is done. So to make an object, you just click on this little ball here.
Or an eyeball.
Or an eyeball. I don't know what it is. It looks like a ball. Anyway, I like to name my objects with obj. I'll do just player. And down here you click the sprite that's assigned to the object. So I did sprite player. Now, objects work with events and actions. And an event is like when this happens, then the action is like what happens when that happens, I guess. So, for example, if we do when the left key is pressed, then it will move. It will start moving to the left at a speed of 2. So basically, when I click the left key, it will start moving to the left at a speed of 2. Now that's simply how an event and action works. So like if we were to go play it, we'll have to, okay. First we have to make a room before you can play your game. To make a room, you click on this white square here. Go over the objects and drag your player over to the room just so we can test out what we just did. When you're done, click the check mark, play. And it takes a second to compile. It'll probably pop up on another screen. Oh yeah, okay. Here's our game. And I'm about to click the left key, and it moves to the left. Now it doesn't stop or anything because we haven't told it to stop. All I said was click the left key, it moves to the left. So basically that's what we did. That's how an object works. So that's not really what we want to do at all, but that was just to show you how events and actions work. So if we go to the step event, I'm just going to drop down some code. You probably won't understand what this means. But I mean, maybe you do. I don't know. But basically, a step event is like it's happening all the time. This is going through, it's checking, this action is going to be happening every single frame that the player exists in. So in this case, all the time. So we'll go with if not place meeting xy obj wall. We haven't made the object wall yet, but we will. I'm just keyboard press. Oh, check press. Or just keyboard check, actually. VK left. Let's go x plus equals 1. Okay. That should be it. No, I forgot a little doohickey there. Okay. We'll add +1 here. So basically what this is doing is it's checking every single frame 1 pixel in front of its x position. So just 1 pixel to the right. Actually, this needs to be right. It's not going to work. Okay. 1 pixel to the right of the object player, if there's a wall object there. And if there's not a wall object there, and if you're pressing keyboard right, or the right key, then it's going to move to the right 1 pixel. It's going to be really slow, but... And we can literally just copy this 4 times for each directional key. This will be left. And instead of +1, -1. Same thing here. And with up and down, we're going to have to go with +1 on the Y. That would make it down. And then up here. Oh, I forgot to do this one. Y +1. Okay. And Y -1. Okay, and basically the same thing is happening over here. If there is not a wall 1 pixel downward and you're pressing the down key, then it's going to move 1 pixel down. So now we'll test that out. And it's going to work pretty much perfectly. No, it's not. It didn't work at all because we didn't make the wall object. If we had walls, to make another object, just click on the circle again. Object wall. Okay, object wall. There we go. And we'll drag one in there, or a few. We'll make that. Okay. Now. Clicking the left key, the up key, down key, right key. Everything seems to be working fine. Now if we hit a wall, nothing. We don't move inside the wall. The wall is blocking us, which is perfect. Exactly what we wanted. Moving a bit slow, though.
You only moved by 1, so...
Yes. What was I expecting? But pretty much to fix that problem, we just got to change all the 1s to like, let's see, 4. So everywhere where there's a 1, just make it 4. Oh, that's 14. Okay. I clicked the wrong play button, but it'll still work. It'll just take longer. Okay. It works just fine, just a lot quicker, more responsive. Okay, so we're just making a maze game. What we can do. The room editor is really neat. To move around the room, you just hold down your like scroll wheel button. Pretty handy. And we'll take. Okay, yeah, this still works. Control Shift is to click and drag on objects, and also right click is to delete them while holding Control and Shift, instead of just clicking every single one. Okay, we'll start with, we'll move our player over here, and we'll just draw out a quick maze. A really simple maze. Okay, there we go. There's our maze. Go down here. There we go. Okay, so let's see if that even works. Pretty sure it will. I mean, we didn't do anything, so it's always good to just test before you go in. So you can only move the way the walls let you. You can't move into the walls. You can't move outside of the walls. That's good. Okay, so your player will start here, and we want to make it to where when he gets down here, it'll go to the next level, and you'll start the next level pretty much, where there's an end to the first level. So you don't need this. We'll make another sprite. SPR end And again, to make a sprite, you click on the Pac-Man looking thing. To make a sprite, you have it open, edit sprite, create a new sprite, a little piece of paper. Click on here. We'll just make it yellow. There we go. Okay. Now an object. Again, the ball thing up here. obj end. Assign the sprite. So now it looks like this yellow square. And we'll go with. Actually, we won't do anything. We'll do everything in the player. So added event. Collision. Object end. So when the player collides with object end, we're going to use drag and drop this time because it's way simpler than typing it out. We'll go to next room. See, it's that easy. Just like main one, here's the room things. Click it, drag it, or just right click it, adds one. Wait, where's the delete key? There it is. Okay. We'll go to the next room. That's it. That's all you need. And you also want to make sure that you have a next room. You don't want to just go in there with one room and ask it to go to the next one because there is no next one. You can also name your rooms, but it's not really needed right now. We'll just draw out another maze, just a really simple one. There. Really simple. And there's our dead end. Okay. Almost looks identical to the last one. Our player will go here. We also got to put in our first room object end. By the way, to put in objects, just go to the objects tab and click in this blank square where there's an object here. And click on the object you want, and then you can just make as many as you want. So now we have an end. And we don't want an end over here because there is no next level. But if there were, we could just put that object there. And if everything works like it should go to the next level. And we should have a semi-functioning game. And there's many things you can do, like to build off of this simple, bare bones game. See, okay, and it worked. So you can add in like enemies if you wanted to, little shooter gun things that shoot at you, or like maybe you have to find a key and unlock a door. There's pretty much infinite possibilities with GameMaker. This may be like really simple, like simplified, but you can get really complex with just like the simplest ideas. So that's pretty much how GameMaker works. There's tons of other things, like just for example, you can put a background. If you don't like the background, the dull gray background, you can go to the background tab in the room, in your room, and if you don't have a background image, which you can also do, you can just make it a different color, make it blue, make it really hard to see, or or something like pink, or something, you know, pretty much any color. And you can make your own background. You can import your own image with the background thing.
Go ahead, do low background.
Okay, yeah, we can.
I think I got some stuff on here.
We can load one.
Use
Load computer or desktop.
Yeah. Go.
There we go. Yoda.
Yep.
All right, we can make Yoda our background. To do that, we just go back to the backgrounds, and instead of clicking on the color thing here, click visible when room starts. Make sure to do that. And click here, background 0. There we go. And Yoda is now in our background, and we can change the color still because it's just a transparent image. But you know, pretty much.
Go back to gray.
Go back to.
There we go.
There you go. Okay. Well, that's pretty much backgrounds. Oh, also, if you can't tell, GameMaker's default frame rate is 30 frames per second, and it's not as smooth as it could be. I mean, it's fine for most games, but if your game has like a lot of movement and you just want it to be a little smoother and less jaggedy when, you know, things are moving around, you can simply go into your room, and where it says speed and settings, you just change it from 30 to 60, or you can go like 120 or something if your monitor can do that. But usually most monitors cap out at about 60, so that's how you do that. And if we go back in here, it should be a lot smoother. Oh, I just closed out of the game. Wait, okay, there we go. It's not as smooth as on our monitor, but I think this monitor might cap out at 30. Or maybe it's the cable or something. I don't know, but it works. The majority of screens like TVs or monitors cap out at 60, so you'd be able to see a difference, a noticeable difference. It also makes your game move faster, so you might want to adjust like speeds and things, but that's how you get a smoother frame rate. In GameMaker Studio 2, it's just in your settings. It's not in the room code or settings. It's just global settings. So yeah, pretty much that's all I can think of for the maze.
Well, that's not bad. Now I gotta show them how to save it.
Oh yeah, saving. Yeah, always want to save your game. This floppy disk here, usually how you save your game. Now, like when you click it for the first time, it'll probably ask you. It'll pop up something like this. Save as. Okay, so you want to find your file at like desktop or something, wherever you want to save your game, somewhere safe, and name it, and then okay.
For me, I personally tell people when I help them out here, by the time to do anything, save to your desktop.
Yeah.
Why? Because the desktop the first thing you're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easier to see it. Oh, there it is. All right, I got it.
Yeah.
Then you can move it to your documents or where have you. But anything you're doing the first time, you don't want to look for it, just save to the desktop.
Yeah, you don't want to save it to some random file in your computer. Then it's like lost forever. So.
Well, it's not lost forever.
You just have to find it.
Just to find it.
And GameMaker saves where you, like it knows where you save your game. So you can always go back and reopen it from the GameMaker, like, app. But if you're wanting to open it up like in File Explorer or something, it's not going to work. So it's always just better to know where your save files are.
And once let's say your game is completed, it's a masterpiece, it's ready for the world to see.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have to save it where they can actually open it up and play it.
Are we talking like an export?
Yes.
Okay, so like the export button is right here, right next to the save button. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the free, isn't it the free GameMaker 1.4? Like it doesn't let you export, does it?
I think it does.
Or maybe older
Probably the older one, but I know you can export it and they just open it up.
Okay, so usually I just use single runtime executable. If you want to have your game like on an installer and stuff, that's fine. And you know, one thing to watch out for, if your antivirus is on and you try to run your game when it's like this, because it's saved as an exe file, and a lot of antiviruses don't like that, and they'll just straight up delete it.
Yes,
it's happened to me a lot, so we'll just save it to desktop. But as long as your antivirus is fine with it, or at least disabled temporarily, this will pop up when it's saving. You should be good. Is it on there?
Yeah, that's on it.
Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. So here it is. Here's what it looked like. And you can change the icon in the settings and things. And here it is. It's a standalone thing. You don't even need GameMaker to play it. It's just saved by itself. And like I said, like I'm pretty sure older versions of GameMaker don't let you save it without buying some version of it. Like at least the entry-level version of GameMaker. But if you have one of those, then you should be fine. But there you go. There's our game. You just click the X button to exit. Simple as that.
All right, guys. If you have any questions, here, we're bringing it back to us again so you can see us, of course. Okay. I mean, shit.
Need some water.
Yeah. So, like I said, there we go. Yeah, close enough.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, if you have any questions, that's GameMaker in a nutshell. Like I said, it can be very simple or very complicated. And yes, we did switch places.
Yeah.
If you have not noticed.
Keyboard.
But if you have any questions or comments, just leave it down and we try to answer as best as we can. And also, we use GameMaker during our summer camps. As you can see, this is one of our t-shirts. And Devin here is actually one of our maker kids that came in and did our summer events.
Yeah.
And now of course, he graduated from it because he's older.
Mm-hmm.
But he is very good at it, as you can see. We invited him back to, hey, show you what you learned.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good program.
So, do more just GameMaker. We do other software. We use Scratch. We use
Movie Maker.
We use Movie Maker. So we do make movies, and it's a lot of fun. We just do a lot, and the ideal is so everybody leave with a new skill. Hopefully, they can build upon and become masters of that trade.
Yeah, like when the kids come back from like previous years, like they always already know what they're doing. Like it sticks with them. They don't just forget it and then like come back and like I don't know what I'm doing. You know.
And they're used to ones that are helping us out. It's like when we had new ones come in and like I don't get this. They come in, oh, I'll show you how to do this. And here's the cool thing. You can do this and do that and make it do such and such, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
But again, that's Movie Maker. Yeah.
Movie Maker. Yeah, well, yeah. GameMaker.
Yeah. Well, that's GameMaker. Hopefully you guys can come and join us again next time. Like I said, the next one is be ABC Mouse. Again, we do things free, so you gotta love that. So, see you next time.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.